Good morning. Full church for a Wednesday morning. It's not a holy day of obligation. It's a good thing. So we begin this campaign of Christian service, as we heard in the opening prayer. It uses almost kind of military language. A campaign is in battle against evil, battle against the devil. We use prayer, fasting, and almsgiving as our weapons against Satan. Jesus himself is tempted by the devil, and he is able to reject all of the temptations of prayer by using prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. So today, we anoint ourselves with ashes. Jesus says when you fast, don't look gloomy like the hypocrites, but rather anoint your head with oil. But we anoint our head with ashes. It's a symbol of death. Remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return. It's kind of a gloomy image, isn't it? And it's kind of the point. It's a reminder to us. Memento mori, right? Remember that one day we will all die. It's a real fact. For some, it's a scary fact. For many, it's a sad fact. But it's a real fact. And each year, we're given this time of Lent as a time to really kind of take account of what it is in our lives that we need to change. What it is in our lives that through prayer, fasting, and almsgiving we need to let go of. Jesus uses the word hypocrite. Don't be a hypocrite. Well, what is a hypocrite? A hypocrite is somebody that says one thing and does another. We're all guilty of that. We're all guilty of being hypocrites. Lots of time people say, oh, I like the idea of Christianity. I think it was Gandhi that was famous for saying this. I like the idea of Christianity, but you're all hypocrites. Yeah. We say one thing and we do another. We say we want to strive to live like Christ. We say we want to try to be more Christ-like. And then our human condition gets in the way. Our sin gets in the way. And so through fasting, through prayer, through almsgiving, these are weapons in our arsenal that we use to be able to overcome that human condition. To be able to say, I'm going to set aside the things of this world so that I can embrace God more and more, so that I can better do the will of God. And so what are the things of this world that keep us from doing God's will? Hypocrisy, yeah. Anger. There's so much anger in the world. And we get angry at the smallest things. Some things, yeah, we're very justified in being angry about. But a lot of time it doesn't do any good. It just eats us up inside. Makes us miserable. Can we give up misery? Can we give up anger? Can we give up those things that keep us from doing God's will? Lots of times, in Lent, it's just, I'm going to give up chocolate. Great, easy. I don't really like chocolate. I'm more of a sweet candy kind of guy. Purple Lifesavers, that's my jam. Give me a bag of Skittles, I'll just dump the whole thing in my mouth. But I don't have to have those, so if I gave that up, it wouldn't be a huge thing. But to give up anger, that'd be difficult, right? Because every time, even when you're driving, you'd have to kind of check yourself and say, okay, hold on. Tim, it's okay, right? They don't even hear what you're saying. As I mentioned this past Sunday, right? Sometimes we watch TV, we watch the news. Maybe we watch the news all day long and it just gets our blood boiling. Real easy solution to just turn it off. Real easy solution to just say, nope, you know what? I'm not going to get angry about these things. I can't control it. Now don't, go the whole George Costanza route and, serenity now, because that'll ultimately, yeah, I know, that was a good laugh back there. Because ultimately you bottle it all up and then you're going to explode. But just don't sweat the small things. or in some cases, they're big things. But we recognize that they don't have power and control over our lives. Through prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, we recognize that we're giving God control in our lives. We say, I let go. I trust in you. I'm not relying on food and goods. I'm not relying on my own will. And I'm not relying on what I have. I'm freely giving to others. I'm going to practice what I'm preaching right now. Two things that upset me while preaching. One is cell phones going off, and the other one is when old people think that they're whispering, but they're really talking full volume. Okay. So as we enter into this campaign of Christian service, this campaign of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, let us look, how can we really use these 40 days to allow the Lord to effect change in our lives, to sanctify us, to make us holy, to prune away those things that prevent us from doing His will, to not allow the world to control us, to not allow ourselves to get angry or upset over the things of the world, but rather to confidently trust in God's will. In just a few moments, you will come forward and you will be reminded of your death. Remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return. Repent and believe in the gospel. Leave behind your old ways and trust in God. Embrace the good news. The good news involves death, so how can it be good? In about 40 days, we'll celebrate a day that we call Good Friday, when God dies. How can that be good? Because we recognize that in death we are united to Christ in a real way, so that we may be united to Him in His resurrection. And so let's make these next 40 days an opportunity for all of us to grow in virtue and holiness, and to unite ourselves ever more to Christ, His cross, His suffering, so that on Easter we may be united to Him in His resurrection.